Before the fireworks outside, the party inside, the Stars and the Coyotes. We told you about Devan Dubnyk. Kari Lehtonen goes again for Dallas.
And he has worked his goals against average under 3 for the first time in quite a while. Just under 3. And he's won 6 of his last 8 decisions. A big reason why the Stars have been able to win these one-goal games and get a little bit of traction going has been the play of the big fin in the pipes.
Sean Horcoff is ailing. The Stars have called up and will put into the lineup the 21-year-old Orangeville, Ontario native Brett Ritchie. He was Dallas' second-round pick, went 44th in 2011. He had a big week for the Texas Stars, scored 5 last week. He's a hunter. Center ice, the NHL's top goal scorer, Tyler Seguin. He's out there with Jamie Benn and Colton Sevier, but it's Coyotes with the puck. Kyle Chipchura handing it back. Oliver Ekman-Larsson shoots it over. Ekman-Larsson partnered with Zbigniew McCulloch. Tarza Goligoski and John Klingberg is their top pair. Sevier trying to send it up the wall. Chipchura keeping it in. Reeder is in pursuit, and that's Moss into the corner, rounding out Coyotes' opening complement. Seguin flicked it along. Ben jammed it up to the line and past McCulloch. Ekman-Larsson taking over. They'll shoot it in. Both teams will make changes. Stars have won 6 out of 7. It has moved them from 11 points out of the second wild card spot to just 6 points out of the second wild card spot. They're surging. Hansel shot it. Saved Lehtonen. Sam Gagner over there to collect it. Eakin chased him out. Puck from the line, and Yandel is caught by Kari Lehtonen.
Lindy Ruff has his team playing their best hockey of the season as 2014 turns into 2015. Defensive play and goaltending has really improved. Special teams continues to languish a little bit. Seems to ebb and flow. Power play especially. Might be the difference in this one here tonight. Very good road power play for the Coyotes, and the Stars need their power play, it feels like right now.
Yandel shooting it up high and over the top. Yandel, the defenseman, second in team scoring. He's 8th among NHL defensemen with 24 points. Stars bring it up. Spezza, Cole, and Hemsky to the line. Here's Ales Hemsky moving in, shooting it wide of Dubnyk's net. Jamie Oleksiak drawing back in tonight, too, for the Stars. He's partnered with Trevor Daley as Jyrki Jokipakka has the night off. Yandel forced back into his own zone. He's partnered with Stone, and he sends it ahead to Gagner. Gagner, Hensel, and Martin Erat hit the Dallas line. Big Hansel reaching around for the puck, took it away from Jordy Ben. Martin Erat in the corner. Oleksiak scuffed him up a bit. Loose puck in the slot. Jordy Ben took it away. Hansel goes crashing in after him, back of the net. Gagner drifting in front, looking for the puck. Erat sent it in front. Jordy Ben blocked it, and Eric Cole handing it back to Jordy Ben. Both teams change again. Ben keeps it away from Mikkel Boedker. Jason Demers pass up the center ice. Vermette tossing it into his own zone. And that's Connor Murphy turning it over. Eakin takes the line. Eakin toward Roussel. Backhand shot. Saved Dubnyk, the game's first.
Well, this is a real good play by that man, Antoine Roussel, on both ends of it. He's the guy that forces the turnover in neutral. Look at him, herd Murphy up the boards, trades a little paint. Eakin feeds off of that. Roussel beats Murphy to the net and gets a pretty good testing little backhand in tight. He has twice as many penalty minutes as any other Star and sits 3rd in goals. It's a nice combination at a number 21.
Became the 9th Dallas Star to pick up a game winner this season against the Rangers the other night. Ritchie left it. Fiddler goes around behind the net. Travis Mullen out there too. And Demers and Jordy Ben back in concert. BJ Crombeen away. Crombeen left it. Korpikoski works his way deep. Crombeen back of the net. Tyler Godin playing his second NHL game. Shoved it back of the net. Jordy Ben squeezed out by Korpikoski. Travis Mullen upended along the boards. Fiddler reaching in. Puck stays on the outskirts, and Jordy Ben whips it up off the glass and out of play.
Both times Jordy Ben tried to bring the puck up the boards against pressure rather than peel back, and they were in trouble in their own zone. There's Brett Ritchie. Good look at his first shift in the National Hockey League. Just vibrating. I remember my first game. Every guy remembers their first game and first shift. He's a big boy that can get to the net. The thing the Stars have done with him with his development, he's a second-year pro now, is they've worked on his conditioning a little bit, and they've got him to go interior a little more. He's going to be a goal scorer at this level.
Here's Bodker. Shot at Goligoski, blocks it. Whipped it up ahead. McCulloch back to the net, and it pinballs back in off Klingberg. Lettinen forced to make the save with Doan lurking.
I'm fine with what Klingberg was doing there. Rather than get focused on where the puck ended up, he was looking for someone to cover. Watch number 3 in front of the net. Trying to deal with Doan, who's a strong guy. Doan wins one back, gets back to the front of the net, and there he is. Rattles around a little bit. He gives Shane Doan, the captain of the Coyotes, a little shove on the tail end of all that. He must give up close to 100 pounds to Doan, who is a big, thick Western Canadian.
Seguin beats Hansel in the circle. And there's the youngster Klingberg again. Picked up his 4th goal of the season. Came on the power play against the Rangers. Shot it out. Sevier dumped it over. McCulloch banks it ahead off Gagne. Sevier sandwiched at center ice. Hansel and Erat try and attack. Klingberg helped break it up. Goligoski hands it off, and Sevier twists it to center. Ben down the boards. Seguin bumped by Ekman-Larsson. He goes in after McCulloch. Ben back there tried to center the puck. McCulloch stripped it, and it's shot out again. Oleksiak to Trevor Daley. Daley on a career pace and then some. Got that puck through to Dubnyk. Ben from the boards. Around to Daley. Next goal will be his 9th. That'll tie a career high for a season, and the season for the Stars is just 35 games old. Off the bench, Eric Cole. With the puck, Oleksiak out to center, and Spezza. Had a little trouble inside the Dallas line. Now he picks it up off Hemsky, and here he comes, charging forward. Shoving it deep, Dubnyk back of his net. Away from Spezza along the boards. Hemsky ripped it away from Reeder. That's Spezza, tried to center to Cole. Hacked away. Cole to Hemsky. Flipping it deep for Spezza back of the net. Chipchura bumps Spezza. He centered the puck, but the Coyotes are in good position, and Chipchura tapped it back to Moss, who's threatened but dances away from the trouble. Chipchura to the Dallas line, and Oleksiak stopped him in his tracks. Ball went spinning along the boards. Another puck battle. Fiddler out to center ice. Skipped away from Murphy. Alpha's coming on the change. Gormley has him wrapped up. Demers in there. Ritchie punched it into the slot. Mullen knifed it down, put it back of the net. Fiddler's in pursuit. He and Chipchura tie up. Gormley and now Ritchie's back there. Fiddler got dumped. Demers holding it in. And Fiddler back of the net for Ritchie. Connor Murphy shadowing Brett Ritchie. Back of the net for Fiddler. Fiddler spinning, shot it back of the goal. Ritchie's stick is hacked in half. There's a couple of sticks down in the Phoenix zone, and the puck comes out in front of the Coyotes bench, and now into it off Demers.
Went right in the door. It's a couple of large boys on the wing with Vern Fiddler here tonight. Oleksiak's looked good here in the early going. He's essentially playing in the spot that Yoki Paka has occupied, left side with Trevor Daley. He's pretty much owned his quadrant down the right wing boards. Use that size. Be assertive. Be an everyday guy in this league.
Went down and played 3 games, played well, played a lot of minutes. He's back up and ready. Klingberg back to the net. Vermette, who leads the Coyotes with 10 goals, 25 points. Puck found him. Sneaking in is Bodker, pulled it to the forehand, save, rebound. Lettinen got over there, and Ekman-Larsson missed the net. Roussel backhands it out. Garvin in pursuit. Ekman-Larsson was a very hot hand lately. Unable to convert on that attempt.
Well, their top lines had a couple of chances here. Earlier, this one, Klingberg both times with some pretty deft defending right in front of Kari Lettinen.
And looking to go at center. Puck turned over. Doan shooting it back across. Shane Doan drafted back in '95 by the then Winnipeg Jets. The franchise relocated to Arizona. They've been Phoenix, and now they're named after the state. Puck popped out. Gagne chasing after it. Daley chasing after Gagne, and Seguin comes back. Long pass to Sevier. In against Yandel. Stopped. Left it for Ben. Oleksiak finding the puck and Stone along the boards. Hansel got it off. And out to center ice, Oleksiak took it away from Gagne. Trying to create some space. Big Oleksiak, 6'7", 250 pounds, 21 years old. Martin Erat away from Cole. Demers deep against Moss. Double team. Cole coming in to help him. Gave it to Spezza, bumped it back out. Hemsky to Jordy Ben. A shot up high. Finds Hemsky at the right point. Slapped it on to Cole. Cole shooting it. Pad stop Dubnyk. Rebound to Hemsky. He'll set it up from the half wall and kick it out to Demers. Passing to Jordy Ben. Shooting off the end boards to Cole. Rifle it back in front. It came to Erat. And Yandel from center ice shoots it in.
Stars got all of that out of the initial aggressive play by Jason Demers to get down deep as a forechecker, as a defenseman. So a fourth guy on the attack and terrific rotation.
Ritchie popped offside at the attacking line. The Stars and the Coyotes, no score in Dallas.
As we approach mid-season, these young defensemen for the Stars are starting to get better and better. Klingberg, another good defensive play in his own zone. First man pressure from Vermette. Contact. They're able to turn a puck over, but it's after the turnover. You know, this is what old defensemen do. Understand where the play is going to go, get back to the front of the net, and he helps out Kari Lehtinen on a real swift play by Bottker, who's maybe been their best player in the 2 games against the Stars this year.
Klingberg's partner, Alex Goligoski, says he's got a great head and a great stick. Very important assets for a young defenseman.
Well, it was a good thing there because they were both on the same side of the ice for whatever reason. That happens a little bit with the Stars defensemen. They formed a rather nice pair. I find it interesting. It's a little different here tonight with Oleksiak in the lineup. He only has 1 goal, though Jokipaka yet to score. But the guys who play right defense for the Stars have combined for 13 goals. The guys on the left, 2.
Curious. Murphy rattles it out to center ice. And Klingberg there to pick up Korpikoski. Got it back in the net. Klingberg stepped past him, gave it to Fiddler. Here come the Stars. Fiddler tried to work it over to Goligoski, and finally they shoot it in. Devin Dubnyk back of his net. And the Coyotes have won 3 straight. They're 4 games under 500 at 14, 18, and 4. 5 back of Dallas, 11 out of the top 8. Bottker passing over. Gormley chunks it ahead. Roussel rescues off the wall and fires it in. Dubnyk created his own option, got it out to Doan, and turns it over at center ice. Garbutt to Eakin at the line. Roussel goes to the front of the net. Eakin double teamed. Eakin twisting it to Roussel and couldn't get the shot toward the goal.
There's a lot of Coyotes to try to get through even after you beat one guy. One of the hallmarks of Dave Tippett's defending game.
Garbutt, backhander, blocked by Vermette. Seguin lurking. Stone's pass ahead to Doan. But again, it's Oleksiak there. Vermette will hand it back. Get away with that pass to Stone. Ekman Larson bangs it out. Demers punched it over off a skate. Ben going in with Stone in the corner. Seguin trailing the play. Seguin looking to get back to form 2 here. 25 goals, leads the NHL. 43 points, second in the NHL. But he's stuck, and Erat comes the other way. Ekman Larson at the line. Hansel shot. Jordy Ben sends out a play.
Well, not a lot of shots in this one in the opening 10 minutes. Just 6 total. You know, one of the most goalie-friendly coaches in the game is Dave Tippett, and he has one of his targets underperforming. The other one is realizing his first-round potential. Mike Smith's just had a rough time. It's crazy. Look at the top 10 in goals against from the time he showed up, Tippett, in the desert, and then this year they're almost challenging for dead last.
Mike Smith has 1 win since November 7th. It's unbelievable.
Like a golfer who's got the yips right now.
Yeah.
That's so talented. He was on Canada's Olympic team last year as the 3rd guy, but it has not gone right this year for him.
Dubnyk eyeing up Demers' bid. The guy's in front. Hemsky tried to dig it out with the skate. Reeder comes to center and bounces off Jordy Ben. Demers and Gagne in the corner. They both go down. Cole willing that puck ahead to Hemsky. Twisted right back into Cole. Reeder steps past. And Demers almost put him into the Dallas bench. Gagne Goligoski locked up in the corner. Gagne got the worst of that. Butker holds the zone for Arizona, and the pass from Hemsky to Moen out to center ice. He'll tip it and go after it. At the line, will shake it in deep. Fiddler in for a hit. Goligoski trying to hold his own. Ritchie lost the puck. Doan has it back to the net. Round to Yandel. Jumped away from him to Doan. Lifted out. Goligoski will go back. That's a 4-2 Arizona. 11 minutes into the first period. Klingberg slams on the brakes, finds Goligoski. Ritchie opening up at center, takes the pass, takes it over, and then puts it in deep for the change.
Apparently they're going to wait until the champagne is chilled before they get going in this.
Yeah. Gary Lettman puts it on the tee for Trevor Daley. Alexiak goes back for the puck.
That's better. That reverse by Daley. Get away from their overload. They're a good forechecking team. Stars end up icing this. We were talking earlier about Jordy Ben was bringing it up, and he threw it right up into the knot, try to go through that power part of their game. Here they come down the boards. Daley grabs it, comes around, looks up, first man pressure, get away from him, force them to adjust, buy a little bit of time for his partner. The bank pass, Stars worked on that in practice yesterday quite a bit. They did it a lot in the game against the Rangers, but it didn't click there.
Cody Eakin, good night in the faceoff circle the other night against the Rangers. He beat Gagne there. Long pass ahead to Roussel at the line. He's behind Yandel. After the puck, in front, Garbutt tied up. Eakin ran into the herd in the corner. Stone took the worst of that. Erat to the line, right to Garbutt. Into the corner for Roussel, out to Eakin. Yandel stick checks it away. To the line, Jordy Ben. Got a bouncing puck up high. Roussel to finish that check. And Jordy Ben getting to it ahead of Sam Gagne. Here's Jason Demers, a modest little two-game point streak for Demers. Gave it to Sagan. Off his stick, he's chasing it in the zone, and then it's cleared. Jordy to Jamie. Ben took it around, gave it to Sagan. A shot, off the side of the net. Sagan will pick it up again, toss it in front, and Ben goes crashing, but Dubnyk holds it. Little spark there. 7:22 remaining in the first period. The score, there is no score for the Stars and the Coyotes.
I think more than any other player in the game right now, Tyler Sagan bakes his own cookies. He's the Mrs. Fields of goal scorers. Sets himself up. He, along with Nash and Pavelski, scored the most goals in the calendar year of 2014, 42 each, and he came close to nudging ahead. This time he did get set up by his new buddy, now his old buddy, Jamie Benn. Tried to go short side high and caught the of it. They like one another, and they have changed the complexion of this franchise in the last 2 years.
Boy, have they ever. Almost instant chemistry.
They haven't played very much here in the first period, though. It's been a pure four-line game. This is the line that's probably played the most, it feels like, for Dave Tippett.
And no special teams yet. Roussel going after the puck. Garbutt keeping it in, and it's nudged past him by McCulloch to center ice. Klingberg resetting for Alex Goligoski. And to the 22-year-old Swede. Gave it back. Garbutt chipped it in. Stars will change. Dubnyk paddles it over. Ekman Larson on the pass. Bottker ahead to the Dallas line. Vermette going in there with Jamie Benn. Tie up. Goligoski whips it around. Stone kept it at the line. Back out here with these three. Two of them anyway. And Alexiak. Sagan has to go back with it. Now Sevier joins Sagan and Ben. Alexiak getting it started. Sevier is into the zone. Sevier In front of Seguin, a shot. Dubnyk took a piece, but Tyler Seguin getting his touches here.
Man, did he ever get that away in a hurry? That's his best weapon, really, is how quickly it goes off the stick and toward the netminder. This is nice execution all the way up the ice. They caught a break that the Coyotes were changing, so they weren't set up in between the two blue lines, but they converged. There were three guys converge on Seguin. They're all worried about him. None of them are looking at the puck, and Dubnyk makes a fine stop from about 15 feet.
Spets is in the circle with Chipchura. Chipchura moves it around. The Coyotes are a good face-off team. Cole took a hit along the wall. Ekman-Larsson floating it. Moss missed 22 games with an upper body/hand injury. Trying to get back to form. Doesn't have a goal yet this season. Cole's looking for his stick. He finds it, and Daly secures the puck. Sort of. Alexiak in to help. Cole tried to relay it on. Hemsky overskates the puck at the line. Crombie, the one-time star. Took a jolt from Cole at center ice. Cole, Dallas's leading hitter this season. Korpikoski put it in. It's right back to him in the corner. Jordy Ben stays on him. To Murphy at the line. A shot tip, loose in front, and Lettman made the stop. Malone slams it out. Fiddler tried to go, and Ritchie over there against Gaudette. Here's Klingberg. Pass along to Goligoski. Here come the Stars. Goligoski across, and the pass was intended, I think, for Ritchie. Either he or Mo, and it's out of play. Under 5 left in the first period. Stars and the Coyotes, go figure, scoreless.
Sure, Kari Lettinen felt he'd be in a low-scoring netminders duel in this one here tonight, and it's shaping up to be just that just moments ago. Good stop on a tricky little shot from the point. Stars ended up with an interesting equation. That's Ritchie out toward the point, the right winger, out to the right point. It goes off of Jordy Ben, who tried to block it, and a tough save for Kari Lettinen.
Sevier down the boards, jockeying with Yandel, and Sevier's going to take a penalty here.
This ought to be good.
You know, this is going to be a key part of tonight's game. Sevier loses position, and as he swung back with the leg, it's tripping, and Yandel made sure he went down on the belly there. It's a good power play. It's an excellent power play on the road. Newell Brown's a guy who's come in and really added a lot, their assistant coach, to this part of their special teams.
Nobody's better on the road than the Arizona Coyotes. Oliver Ekman-Larsson leads the group with 6 power play goals. Daly up the wall. Fiddler tried to tip it out. It stays in the zone. Ekman-Larsson passing it back to Yandel. Shot it. Lettinen makes a stop. Will hold it.
Yeah, they have a couple of guys on their points in Ekman-Larsson and Yandel that can make things dreamy as far as puck distribution. What a difference, huh? 10%. 10% is massive. For whatever reason, it's dry in the desert, and they go out on the road and they score on 1 of every 4.
Off the face-off, Hansel played it back. It's tipped out by Roussel, who was picked off on his way to the puck. Stars have a shorthanded goal against the Coyotes this season. In fact, Ryan Garbutt won the game with it. In the desert. Daly around the boards. Fiddler tried to tip it past Ekman-Larsson and then just bludgeons it out. Yandel with a pass ahead off Hansel right to Goligoski. Hill sidestep Reeder, give it to Fiddler. Here come the Stars. Fiddler across the line, a backhand shot that's tipped over the top of the net. Garbutt chasing Ekman-Larsson along to Gagne. Rink wide for Reeder, barreling into the corner. He's cut down. Stars play to the line, not out. Yandel, midway through the power play to Ekman-Larsson. We're working on over to Yandel. Back to Ekman-Larsson, a shot, and blocked in front, and Lettinen finds it off Reeder.
The original shot, I think, hit Reeder in front of the net. Boy, that was some sweet passing between Yandel and Ekman Larsson up top. Risky, they get away with it, and it opens up a shooting lane there. Just drilled it right into the midsection, right into the Coyote logo on him. Lehtinen, though, out and challenged that, so once it dropped, able to just smother it right at the feet of Reeder.
49 left in the Sevier minor. Gormley back to Stone. As now Yandel and Ekman Larsson are on the Arizona bench. Shane Doan, 8 goals, 19 points. On another 20-goal pace, and Cole rips it down the ice.
He probably wishes he was playing all his games on the road. Doan's done almost all of his scoring away from home, 7 of 8.
For his 13th 20-goal season. What a hit by Cole on Vermette. Ben left it. Demers shoots it up, off a stick and out.
That was a good penalty kill. Really good. Kept them, for the most part, on the outskirts. Gave up a couple of shots from distance, and that was it.
Final clear for the Stars. On comes Sevier. Dallas back at full strength. Zbynek McCulloch up the middle. Gave it away to Spezza. Couldn't sidestep Chipchura. He'll take it over. On the wing to Moss. Alexiak using the stick. And now his body. With help from Spezza, the Stars get it out. Ekman Larsson backing into his own zone to Zbynek McCulloch. Again to Ekman Larsson. 6 goals, 3 of them game winners in his last 12 games, but he does not take the center red line here, and so is urged to come back on for the icing he created.
Yeah, little mind fluff there as he didn't take the extra step. His argument is going to be, I think, that it caught a stick and down. At any rate, they'll try to gather things in their own zone. They won faceoffs on their power play, but the Stars have drilled them pretty good.
Sagan wins this one. Klingberg leaves it to Sagan. Shot it, dies in the pile in front. Ben digging to get it back. There's Sagan at the right point. Slapped it over to Goligoski. Forced to turn by Moss. Stays with the battle along the wall. Klingberg directing Sagan over. He's got the puck. Sagan shot blocked. Perpikoski got in the way. Ben ran over Chipchura. Klingberg from the right point. Holding it, giving it to Ben. Tried to pass it off. It's blocked in Chipchura. Sevier chasing him up the ice. Stars take it away. Very little room to move against the Coyotes. Klingberg got away from Gagne and then lost it to Hansel. Cole backing him up. Here comes Cole, trying to cut through the Coyote defense. Yandel holding him up. Hemsky to Spezza back of the net. Yandel escapes. Cole chugging after him. He finds Hansel at center ice. Passing to Gagne. Stars break it up. Coyotes drop back. And Spezza for a seam at the line. Lost the puck. Erad out to center. Tough going. The Stars with just 3 shots in the first period. Fiddler chasing this one. Dubnyk moved it to Gormley. Up ahead to Doan. Pivots it out. He comes to center. Vermette hands it back. Trevor Daley giving it to Ritchie. 1-on-3. He'll shove it in and then try and jockey away from Murphy. Brett Ritchie beat the Fiddler back of the net. Centering feet for Moen that popped up. Butker with 25 in the frame. To Doan. Caught it on his backhand. Pivots to his forehand. Passes it across the ice. Fiddler came back and knocked it out of play.
Well, the Stars captain on his last shift with a rather robust hit in behind the net. And then a good play up top. The Stars have tried to implement this into their game. That Chipchura got knocked on his fanny. He comes up top in between the 2 defensemen. It was nicely defended, though, by the Coyotes, and the guy he knocked on his rear, Chipchura, turns that one over. But it's tough to defend. You have the 2 defensemen, and then you have a forward in between the 2 of them. And usually it's just a forward on each of the defensemen. Well, who takes the forward on the other side when he's in the middle of the rink like that? The Detroit Red Wings do that really well. The Coyotes do that sometimes with their power play. Well, they'll bring the forward up top. Open up some lanes to shoot.
19 15 seconds left in the period. Roussel steps in and he beats Vermette in the circle. Klingberg away from Bodker to Garbutt. Doan with a shove on Klingberg. Bodker back into the Dallas zone. Stick checked away. From Larson sends it in, and so 7 shots to 3 for Arizona. No score after 1.
Yeah, a lot of viscosity in the opening period tonight. It's like the champagne bottle. They just peeled the tinfoil off the top. They still have to unscrew the little wire thing, and then eventually they'll get to the saber, and they just saber it right off the top. It's a long way down the road.
Yeah, we'll look forward to that. Stars and the Coyotes. No score after 20 minutes in Dallas. We are building the Big D NYE and the fireworks display at the stroke of 12. Razor, the foil is off the thing here, but they haven't quite gotten it going yet.
No, they have not. It'll get better as it moves along. It's been pretty good around here on New Year's Eve. Our Ford leaderboard tonight, Stars with the 4th best record since the move down here to Texas from Minnesota. 10-4-2. Remember back in the beginning, they went 6 wins and 2 ties, I believe they were back in the day. 6-0-2 to start it off. Only the Flyers, Islanders, and Red Wings, so all Eastern Conference teams now ahead of them as far as record is concerned on the last night of the calendar year.
They've won 4 of their last 5, 2 here on New Year's Eve. Tyler Seguin at center with Kyle Chipchura. Stars had trouble generating much at all. They had 3 shots in the first period. The Coyotes can do that to you when they're on their game. Chances, offense, shots, rebounds, all tough to come by design. Here comes Klingberg jumping in. Across the line, Klingberg tried to pass across. Seguin scorches it wide of the net. Chipchura slammed by Jamie Benn, who did not on the score sheet receive credit with a single hit in the first period.
That's the second time he's rocked Chipchura's world.
Colton Sevier shoves it in. Trevor Daley going back to get it. Doan in for a look. Stars bank it out, and there goes Spezza after the puck. They waved the icing.
I don't know why Yandel didn't turn and go to that puck. Would have been icing.
What a curious play. Now Spezza to Hemsky. Hemsky back in the net. The Spezza turning it out to Alexiak. Shot it. Pad stop and off Dubnyk to the corner. Daley to Hemsky at the side of the goal. And Dubnyk brought it in.
A little more action here in the early going of the second period. That first frame, that's the 3rd straight game against the Coyotes in which the Stars have not scored in the opening period. Ben came out to dislodge individuals from the pill. Big hit on Chipchura, and then that last chance, Hemsky goes to the net. Might have got a piece of that one, but he got a piece of Dubnyk and went wide. And said, dribbled back in. He said, I'm going to start this from a stop.
See if he gets a hit for that. Coyotes win the puck, but Roussel got over there to dislodge Yandel. Erat drags it out. Good work past Trevor Daley. Erat, time to Yandel. Shot it in and around the boards. Erat has a modest little 3-game point streak. He is checked hard. And Cody Eakin whipped it across. And he's pressuring Yandel. Gets the return pass from Stone, coughed it up. Garbutt from the line shot it. Pad stop Dubnyk. Roussel to Demers. Back of the net, Cody Eakin stepping away from Stone. Centered it. Garbutt lunged out for it and lost his left glove in the process. Goes to the bench. And one of the officials throws the glove that way. Demers from center ice. Fires it around. Seguin's over there. Stone's on his back. Seguin kicked it forward. Ben worked it out to Jordy, whose shot came in on Dubnyk. He made the stop. Sevier tapped it to Demers. On to Seguin, deep to Ben. Ben to Seguin, off a stick in front, and Gagne in distress. Cranked it out of there. Klingberg. They go play that puck. Got a little help from Demers. Sevier and Seguin whipped it out. And Ben stalled by Gormley at center ice. On to Reeder. Chipped it toward the net. Letman stabbed it back to the goal. Demers got away from the pressure, but it's held in by Gormley. The shot got through, hit Lettinen in the pad. Klingberg whipped it up. Ben trying to get away from Murphy at the line. He gasped, but he got it in deep. There's Brett Ritchie playing in his first NHL game tonight for the Stars. Look, from Austin got here this afternoon. Cedar Park, rather. Goligoski held it in. Klingberg looks it over. Shot it, got it back off Reeder. Shot from Ritchie, that blocked by Gormley. Goligoski tapped it deep. Travis Moen back in the net for Vern Fiddler, who settles it. Fiddler tried to work it in front. Fiddler shot it toward Ritchie. And a penalty coming up on the Coyotes.
Well, they've been on their heels since the start of the second period. I would think the Stars were a tad bit embarrassed only getting 3 shots on goal in the first period. And they've come out and done 2 things that they need to do. One is be a little more physical and get their D involved. And there's D involved. Pressure by Klingberg forces the panic play in their own zone. Reeder chops it into the lower bowl. Stars go on the power play for the first time here tonight. If you're not aggressive against the Coyotes, you're not going to get on the power play very often. They weren't on the power play in the first period. Their first chance at it right here.
Stars are 4 for 16 over their last 4 games. Power play surging a bit. Trevor Daley has 5 power play goals. Sagan leads the Stars with 6. Ben wants him. Ben tried to force one through, and it hit Doan and went to center. Sagan cleaning it up. Daley leaves it. Here comes Tyler Sagan. Down the wing. Across the ice to Ben. Couldn't catch that puck cleanly. Circles away, but drew 2 Coyotes with him. Passing on to Daley. Daley down the boards away from Doan. Keeps the puck back of the net. Slides past McCulloch. Passes off to Spezza. Spezza going interior for a shot. Tried to pick the corner and missed.
He's missed the net a lot. His equation is not a very good one as that puck goes up into the netting above the glass. It's 7-5. That's his missed shots to shots on goal ratio. So he needs to adjust the sights a little bit. He's got a wicked shot, and he has got a wicked curve on that stick. Likes to pull it and snap it. It's a fine line between picking corners up top on 6'6" tall netminders and catching glass. And he caught glass on that last one.
Second unit out here. Fiddler, Sevier, and Cole. Hemsky and Klingberg. And Klingberg's pass to Hemsky. Across the ice to Cole. They'll charge in down the wing. But away from Korpikoski, who stole it back and then gave it away to Hemsky. Hemsky with the puck. Turning toward the net. They're stacked up in front. He goes out to Klingberg. Shot it. Tipped high. Hemsky back of the goal. Clever guy. Back of the net for Cole. Out to Hemsky. On to Klingberg. Fiddler, a shot, saved Dubnyk. Sevier to the boards. Chipchura not out. Fiddler held it in, gave it to Klingberg, passing to Hemsky. Hemsky slap pass, tipped by Sevier wide. Cole centered it. Sevier took a whack. It goes right to Chipchura. He finds a lane.
Nothing gets penalty killing in bigger trouble than not getting pucks out, especially in second periods when you have to charge to the other side of the center ice stripe to get your changes in. They survived that.
10 left on the power play. Spezza goes to Ben. Ben moving in for a shot. That hits Dubnyk up high and goes out of play.
Hit him right in the head. Ben wafting in on the left wing side. Smile underneath from Dubnyk, who's had an answer for everything, but he's dealt with them one at a time. He didn't know where it went. Ben comes back to see whether he still had his faculties about him. Ding! Chin and collarbone and out of play. He can rip it too. Look at the bend on that stick. That little bell, that clear bell that protects the neck, came flashing up in front of the eyes of Big Dubnyk.
Second to Sagan with 10 goals and 30 points. Daley held it in at the line. Reeder is on. Power play is over. Stars have it deep. Ben to Sevier. Couldn't move it away from McCulloch, who hit the deck. Erat sends it out.
There's a weak play by Ekman Larsson on the original rim around the boards. I know he's trying to get it to the guy coming out of the box and time it a little bit, but it ends up staying in.
That's a 6-1 Dallas in the second period. And this is icing against the Stars. Giving us a chance to tell you that Stars home games in February, March, and April go on sale January 7th, but you can get a special pre-sale by signing up for the Dallas Stars Insider. Great games are coming up this spring, including the Lightning, the Red Wings, the Penguins, the Blackhawks, and more. Sign up for the Insider today at DallasStars.com.
Today at DallasStars.com.
Lindy Ruff ran a pure four-line game in the first period. All four of the center icemen played 5 minutes, from Seguin down to Fiddler.
As even as you can get. Olegoski twisting it forward. Seguin took a look, but he's at the end of a shift, and he'll stay out there.
Swing all the way back down into their own zone. You know, the type of game, veteran coach in Lindy Ruff, you understand what the Coyotes are going to try to do on the road. You understand Dave Tippett's team. He likes to push the game along in his vernacular. You know, move it, turn it into a 30-minute game or a 20-minute game. Don't get behind and have to chase.
So far, so good for the Coyotes as Yandel's shot dies in Kari Lehtinen, and so the Stars can get a change, and you can go get a snack. Still no score for the Stars and the Coyotes at American Airlines Center on Big D, NYE.
John Klingberg in the foreground there is countryman Patrick Nemeth. Good news on the injury front, a little bit anyway. Back skating again. Still well away from returning from that laceration of the wrist and forearm, and it was a nasty one. But he's back on his wheels. He should be able to keep his legs and his lungs, and then have to get his hands back once he is allowed to hold on to a stick.
Be some time yet before he's able to do all he can do. Roussel off the boards. Garbutt gets in there first. Tried to center it. Yandel blocked it. Garbutt to the side of the net. Save Dubnyk. Couple of whacks there for Ryan Garbutt. Vermette lost it. Roussel shot it, and that's tipped by Deacon just wide. He snuck under Stone in the corner. Vigorous battle here again from these three. Coyotes want to get it out. Tie up behind the play. Yandel takes it over. Left it for Bodker. Plays it deep for Yandel. Defenseman deep on the play. And he can work hard to get that puck out. Ritchie to Jordy Bennett center. Driving around the boards. Dubnyk unable to cut it off. Fiddler's in there with Murphy back of the net. Bodker hammered by Ritchie. Fiddler has it in the corner. Deep for Travis Mullen. In front to Ritchie. He scores! Brett Ritchie's first NHL goal.
Look at, he's sprinting to the fist bump line down the Stars bench. He makes this happen originally. Gets a beautiful feed. Here's the big hit on Bodker. Boom! Gets it down deep, they turn the puck over, and he goes to the net. Out of the pile, in behind, sweet feed, and upstairs in tight. No chance for Dubnyk, who's going to butterfly to react. Nice setup by Mullen. Both wingers involved in that one. And there's one that will be presented.
First goal in your first NHL game on your first NHL shot. How's that? From Travis Mullen and Vern Fiddler, that's 7:22. Congratulations, young man. 1-0 Dallas. Oleksiak had his earlier this season. Spezza back to Oleksiak at the line. Cole drifting for the puck. Moss shoved him. Cole working it out to Spezza. Was rewarded for this aggressive, tenacious second period play. Ekman Larsson up the middle, icing. No, they wave it.
Dallas Stars
Olegoski in the corner.
of the season and first career NHL goal.
Sevier trying to get it up the boards. Ben's over there, took it away from Doan. Here come the Stars. Ben pushing hard. Sagan's with him. Ben across to Sevier. Shot, he scores!
They came blasting out of their own zone. That's the first goal that Sevier has scored on home ice this year. They trapped the top line for the Coyotes, hit the line on the gallop. Seguin draws coverage by driving through. It opens up a little seam. Ben waiting for it, got it to Sevier. It's right on the tape. As soon as it's on his blade, it's upstairs and over the shoulder on Dubnyk. He gets across. He's a little shallow. He's moving toward it instead of set. A couple of young wingers have cashed in here on back-to-back shifts.
Sevier's third goal of the season. And for Colton Sevier, that's 2 goals and 6 points in his last 7 games.
Well, you get an opportunity to play on a line with Seguin and Ben. You're going to get some opportunities. Got to make the most of it. The delay of game penalty to Klingberg here. We fire that one up into the netting. In behind, Kari Lehtinen just set it up for him, and as he got hustled in behind, there you go, threw it on his backhand up. Whoopsie daisy. So he sits. This will halt the momentum for a moment.
And again, this is how the Coyotes can get back in the game. They have the best power play on the road this season. 0 for 1 in the game. Dallas wins the face-off. Fiddler chasing the puck. Dubnyk out of his net after Daly shot it down. Swinging around to Oliver Ekman-Larsson ahead to Antoine Vermette. Couldn't handle the pass. Daly buys some time, and that's Phoenix, Arizona chasing again.
So the Coyotes are getting clocked in the face-off circle, and that's been a huge advantage for the Stars and part of the equation here in the second period.
Vermette lost the puck. Shot from Ekman-Larsson, stopped by Kari Lehtinen, and that was coming in a hurry.
Well, not just that it was coming in a hurry, but the puck is rolling, and there's no way that Lehtinen could read where this is going to go. Watch his reaction after it. 2 guys go after the puck carrier. That thing's bouncing around. It's like, where are you? Look at that thing. Oscillating. Drilled. It moves when that happens, like a knuckler. Lehtinen makes sure he keeps it on him or in front of him.
Garbutt tossed it up the middle. Hoping for a mistake there from Ekman-Larsson. Almost got one. Sevier from Jamie Benn, Dallas' second goal. Just a single assist from now. Yandel fires it around the boards. Jordy Benn puts it away from Doan. Off a skate right to Cody Eakin. 2-on-2 with Cole at the line. They'll shovel it in. And Dallas will get a change on the kill. Midway through Arizona's second power play. Martin Hanzal to Antoine Vermette. Daly aggressively at the line. Yandel following it up, and Lehtinen makes a difficult catch and then tumbling over gave it to Goligoski for the clear. Dubnyk lost out to Ben. Couldn't quite center it. Gagne waiting for it at center, goes rink wide. Reeder tried to slip past Daly. Goligoski picks him up in the corner. 4-man puck battle there. Now 5 as Fiddler's in. Fiddler lost his stick. Gagne on top to Stone. 15 left on the power play. Gagne shooting it. Lehtinen made the stop. Hanzal the rebound. And got some of that. Hanzal back up to Gagne. Fiddler still without a stick. Stone shooting. Fiddler blocks it without a stick. Stone again to Gagne. Klingberg's minor is over. He jets back into the defending zone as the shot from Reeder pops harmlessly into Kari Lehtinen's left hand. Dallas Stars get 2 in 63 seconds. A first for Brett Ritchie. And then Colton Sevier snap. 2-rip Dallas.
Filling in for the ill is Brett Ritchie tonight, and making the most of it. Sean Horkoff couldn't go tonight. Ritchie comes up from the American Hockey League, scores his first National Hockey League goal. It's nice to see some of that big, young size on the wing that the Stars have in their system pay off at the NHL level. Boy, you got that off the stick in a hurry. And upstairs on a nice feed from Travis Moen in behind the net. Vern Fiddler goes and grabs the puck. It's not only a souvenir, it'll be mounted, as they do for all the young guys now. Steve Sumner, the Stars equipment man, grabs that. Just a continuation of what Ritchie's been doing in the American Hockey League. He's the player of the week down there. Not a bad week. You know, you look at him coming up like that. It's like when Klingberg came up, he was tearing the American Hockey League apart down there and did the same thing in the early days in the National Hockey League.
Great stuff. Paul going in there with Stone. Hensel pivots off the pile. Moves the puck to center and into his own bench.
He's been invisible tonight for the most part. Big Martin Hansel as he chunks that one into his own bench. You know, Jim Nill, the Stars general manager, I remember, you know, asking him about how they did things with the Detroit Red Wings. Because it seemed like a lot of guys stayed in the minors for a long time before they'd get up. And he said very clearly, we like them overripe. And it's the same thing here. You could look back and think, well, why isn't a guy like Richie up here? Or why isn't so-and-so up here? Well, take your time. Be patient. Let them ripen.
Seemed to work pretty well in Detroit. Icing here against Dallas.
And the other thing that works so well, and now that Mr. Ghilardi owns the entire operation, it's nice to have your farm team, your American Hockey League, as close as it is in Cedar Park so that you can shuttle guys up and down. Most of them just drive up. You don't have to worry about flights and connections and coming across country and time zones and what have you.
Great setup. Alexiak popped it out to center. Turned over, shot, save Lettman, rebound, and Lettman got that one too, as Moss was bidding for his first of the season.
Well, that's good reaction out of Kari Lettinen to bail out Alexiak. You know, it's what happens with young defensemen sometimes. It's their reads, right? Coming out of his own zone, puck comes up. Instead of retreating and realizing that they've turned it over, he continues forward. They give him an odd man chance. And there's Kari Lettinen, eyeball to eyeball with Moss, gunning for his first of the season. Kept things in front of him, made a second save. They get a change in. Pays to be long in the legs from time to time. Gathers that one in. That's what he's been doing lately. Big save, key juncture, really the hallmark of Kari's game when he's sharp.
9-3-1 in his last 13. And the Stars are going for 7 of their last 8 tonight. Back into things here in the Western Conference. Jason Demers with a pass to Cody Eakin. Up the boards to Garbutt. Vermette overtakes him.
Vermette's a good player. He's smart, hard-working. Interesting to see whether they're going to be able to re-sign him there if he ends up elsewhere.
Montre shoveled it toward Vermette. Stripped it away from Jordy Bent for a centering feed. Garbutt there to block it away. And then Gormley stopped by Kari Lettinen. Coyotes with a little push here. Montre takes a tumble and a penalty coming up against Dallas.
I swear this is not a penalty. Poor Demers, the same thing happened to him against the Rangers. I think Bottker just charged in there and fell down. Guys in stripes are a lot closer than me. Let's have another look. That was not the penalty. That was the penalty. Can you believe that? It's crazy. Just because the player falls down, it's not always a penalty.
Posted nonetheless. Third power play of the game for Arizona. And this one rolls out to center. It has not been the power play that has keyed their latest 3-game winning streak here. Their penalty killing, which has been a problem all year long. They're steadied lately. Vermette passing over. Doan had to reach for it. Ben tried to jump him at center ice, and Goligoski hammers it over. Ben trying to take both Ekman Larsson and Yandel. He'll go to the Dallas bench. Rest changes up front. 90 seconds left on the Demers minor. Vermette. And one juke too many.
Just feels like their power play, and it's tough to pick away at a power play that's #1 in the league on the road, but they look like they played with no pace tonight. You know, a couple of cute little plays once they got set up back in the first period, but for the most part, they haven't been able to play quick enough to get away from the Stars and their penalty killing, which has been excellent so far. Eakins getting kicked out. He tapped Hansel right in the gloves, I think, before that was ever going to be dropped.
So it's up to Ryan Garbutt. And off the faceoff, the Stars find the puck. Trevor Daley. Boom, down the ice. Dubnyk to one knee. Eakin alertly after the puck in the corner.
Made a mess of that.
Puck fighting through it. And occupying both Yandel and Ekman-Larsson, and now going after Reeder, who bursts forward to center. Takes the Dallas line. Hit by Garbutt. Yandel passing over. Ekman-Larsson whipped it across to Gagne. Back out. Yandel shot it. Saved Lettinen, and he keeps the rebound away from Martin Hansel.
Well, and he did a nice job of actually looking around Hansel, who was a little slow to get in his eyes, and he was tidy with that rebound once they did get the shot from distance. But that's all the Coyotes are getting right now, are these long shots from just inside the blue line from their point men. Hansel's a big boy, but he's not too eager to get in that shooting lane, and because of that, Lettinen has no problem hanging on to that.
Hansel wins it. Ekman-Larsson shot it weakly. Lettinen stayed with it, made the play. Yandel to Ekman-Larsson. All the way over to Gagne. Give him a little room. For Yandel. Ben pressuring. There's Gagne. Deep to Hansel. Trying to go across. It ricochets back in. And Oleksiak is over there with Gagne. Now it's Jordy Ben wrestling with Hansel, and Lettinen had his stick stuck out. Gagne, Yandel shot it. Save Lettinen. Rebound loose. And Cole will go with it. A 2-on-1 with Ben. Short-handed. Ben moving in to Cole. Cole tried a backhander at the side of the net.
A little horny in the building.
Yes. Well, it's New Year's Eve. Noisemakers are allowed. The penalty is over, by the way. Stars 3 for 3 on the kill tonight. Gormley shooting it. Blocked by Alex Goligoski. Demers to the line. Gormley unable to hold it in there. .537 left in the second period. The Stars, with goals from Brett Ritchie and Colton Sevier, lead the Coyotes 2-0.
28 goals in 138 games as a Dallas Star for Eric Cole. 2 of those last New Year's Eve against the Kings. The tail end of a penalty kill for the Stars. I love what Cole does. I'm a true believer in this. Odd man rush, move the puck as soon as you hit the attack blue line. Force the defenseman and the goalie to have to move and then do something after that. The something after that wasn't very good, though, as he rattled it off the outside of the net.
Arizona with the puck in the Dallas zone. Moss in pursuit. Bowen tucks it deep. Goligoski. Toss for Klingberg to find. In pursuit of Kyle Chipchura. Gormley down the boards. Klingberg for Ritchie. Breakaway. Ritchie for his second. Save Dubnyk.
That's a biggie.
Vaughn puts it around behind again. Ritchie to Fiddler. Fiddler back of the net. Fiddler working out of the corner. He'll toss it deep for Travis Moen. He and Ritchie right next to each other. Ritchie tossing it toward Moen again. Back of the net. Chipchura ran right into Fiddler. And Fiddler waiting for help on the change. Passing through to Sevier. Sevier, shot, save, rebound, right to Sevier. He'll glove it down, set it up, give it to Demers. Sagan's waiting for it. Jordy Ben, Sagan in the corner. Sagan in front to Sevier. I don't know if Dubnyk made a save or not. Now it's Sagan again. Sagan shooting it. Dubnyk to stop. Pile up in front of the net. Sevier was wiped out. He's back up. Jordy Ben shanked it. A pile up, a collision. Moss and Demers. Moss is slow to get up. Demers holding it in. Pass to Sagan. Sagan wanted to unload it. Now he walks away from Moss. He shoots it. Save Dubnyk. Ben is digging for it. Jordy coming down the wall. Furious pressure here by the Stars. Jordy Ben locks up with Gormley. Jamie Ben covering at the line. Tried to slide it over. It's intercepted. And from center ice, Moss, who's had a rough shift, goes to the bench.
He's exhausted. I think all of them that were out there, he's exhausted and a little dinged up. What a shift. Shift and a half.
Yeah. Demers lost it. Hansel passes off. Erat couldn't handle that puck. It was about waist high.
Boy, after all that and then a turnover in behind their own blue line, this pair on defense needs a change too for the Stars.
Not going to get it. Icing against Dallas.
See what Lindy Ruff does here. He wants his timeout or wants to save it. Boy, the two young defensemen, Gormley and Murphy, went numb. Forgot about Ritchie, who burst out of the zone once that puck was turned over. Lead pass, walks in, couldn't elevate though. Nice pad stop by Dubnyk as he went backhand on him. And then Colton Sevier, who's already got a goal in the game, multiple chances, real sweet feed by Tyler Seguin, right through everybody, off the back door, goes off the heel of the skate of Gormley, the defenseman, and never gets through, but they had them scrambling, not wanting to give Tippett and the Coyotes any kind of an advantage here, wanting to give those two a breather. Jordy Ben and Demers, who were out there for that entire rotation in the attacking zone, let them get their breath and start from a stop in their own zone. He's starting to find a swerve again. Here, Cole Sevier came in, scored at about a 35-goal pace last year. A rough time at the beginning of the year. This year, started not believing in himself. Once he scored that goal in Detroit, though, he's been a different player. And 3 goals and 7 points in the last 11 games. He's been elevated to the top line with Seguin and Ben.
Sort of a hybrid out here off the icing. Erat shot it. Demers blocks it. Stone put it back to the net for Erat. Goligoski in pursuit. Gagne with a shot that's blocked off Hemsky. Seguin up and out, no icing. Dallas can get some of their change in here. Puck launched in distress to center ice. Spezza cuts it off, fires it right back in. Died in the corner, and Dubnyk just waited on it and came to him.
Patiently waited on that one. Well, he's been beaten by 2 laser beams over his shoulders. Otherwise, he's had an answer for everything. Kari Lehtinen has been perfect at his end and very good here in the second period. Very good. And he looks on his game right now.
Face up at the other guy's in. Eakin beats Vermette. Alexiak keeps it into Daly. Swings it around deep. McCulloch up the wall. Alexiak cuts it off. Eakin tripped up in front. Bodker chased by Alexiak toward the Dallas line. Garbutt tipped it over, and Garbutt appeared to take a stray stick, or at least tried to sell it that way at center ice. The Dallas line. Shoot it in. Bodker. Back of the net away from Doan. Roussel. Into the corner. Tie up there for Met. Trying to scrape it away. Goes to Bodker for a shot. Daly blocks it. Ekman Larson fires. Garbutt blocks it. Alexiak turns it up, not out. McCulloch whips it deep again. Pass from Doan to Vermette to Ekman Larson. A shot. Lehtinen finds it. And Bodker tied up in front by Alexiak, allowing Roussel to escape the center. He'll gain the line and shoot it in. Garbutt going in there. Spezza to call. A shot. Save Dubnyk. And Crombie gathers it in at the Dallas line. Klingberg took the hit but got the puck along to Cole. Here comes Spezza. Trying to split the defense. Yandel shot it to the line. Klingberg kept it into Cole, who's got some room. He shoots it. That's deflected out of play.
It's a couple of looks for Eric Cole on this shift. He was the high forward up top. Gave the little release on that last one earlier. They just, I don't know what the Coyotes were doing in behind their own net. It was late in the shift for McCulloch and Ekman Larson, the 2 defensemen. They got stripped. Cole got fed, and it was regurgitated back at him by Big Dubnyk.
Stars have won 24 of 40 faceoffs in the game. They win another here. Ben does. Klingberg deep to Ben. Sevier hits the pile. Klingberg trying to hold Erad at bay, and that puck lifted off the glass and into the penalty box.
Well, if one of the things that was posted by Lindy Ruff and his coaching staff about areas of focus for the game tonight, if one of those was face-offs, they are spot on that. And I got to think it was. You know, you look at a team, here's their strengths. Their power play is a strength. Their ability to start with the puck is a strength. Match it or make them weaknesses. They've made this a weakness.
Sagan wins this draw toward Goligoski, but the Coyotes poke it out to center ice.
It was a strong move by Sagan. Time up with the stick, try to win it with your skates.
Erad chips it over. Goligoski around to Klingberg. Cute little pass there. Sagan to Ben at center. Ben sets it down, steers it in, right to McCulloch. Ekman-Larsson buying himself a little space. All the way over to McCulloch. Half a minute remaining in the second period. Enzel creeping forward. Gagne returns it to him at the line. Has to cut in against Ben. Ben ties him up. Lettinen takes the puck. It's a New Year's Eve edition of Fox Sports Live. Tonight, TCU tries to prove it belonged in the playoff against one of college football's best defenses. The NHL and NBA have a full slate of games, and you can't miss our incredible look back at 2014 through the eyes of the fan.
Cody Eakin's starting to get more and more of these defensive zone assignments for face-offs. Vermette's one for them.
Eakins won 6 of 9 tonight.
Vermette thinks he's going to win this. He's moving people around. No, you don't.
He doesn't. Trevor Daley. And that's out of play.
Tried to chip it up. They had Garbett going down the boards. For the most part, I think the Coyotes have cut off that option for the Stars to play their speed game, throw pucks off the glass or off the boards to forwards that are stretching and use their speed that way. It worked against the Rangers. Both teams played that way. It was a very different game than this one tonight. Very.
The Stars with a pretty good push here in the second. 14 shots. They had just 3 in the first. Both goals coming in this frame, too. Trevor Daley to the line. Roussel, Garbett, they get it out. Doan forced back. Yandel forced further back. And the Dallas Stars are going to take a 2-0 lead to the third period.
Well, one thing Jamie Benn was saying to me this morning is that when I asked him about turning things around, he said, we're more comfortable in these tight games, these one-goal games. It's a 2-goal game right now. They've won 6 of those during this 7-game span.
Dallas Stars in good shape, up 2-0 after 2 periods. Fraser, one would not expect the Coyotes to come back. You never know.
No, you know, you look at the teams that have struggled the most when they've been down after 2 periods of play, and the Coyotes 0-13-0, so they haven't made it to overtime. Columbus, Edmonton, Tampa would be the shocking team in that group. 0-10-1 for the Lightning. They got lots of firepower to come back.
Minnesota and Winnipeg, by the way, both lost tonight. Games against Eastern Conference opponents, so good things. If you're a Dallas Stars fan, Minnesota is here next. Doan down the wing. Shot at Lettinen. The stop. Rebound came away, and Ekman-Larsson's drive foiled by Kari Lettinen's right shoulder.
That's a penalty.
It is.
They didn't want to call it.
The great Shane Doan on his way to the penalty box.
And they get a pretty good rush chance. Kari Lettinen tried to grab that initial bid with his glove hand. As they continued on their forecheck, he got the stick in on Goligoski, and down he went. So Stars go on the power play. Yeah, this is an opportunity to all but dust the Coyotes in this one tonight if they can cash in. And the Stars came in tonight, games in hand on everybody, and only 6 points back of the wild card in the Western Conference. So this would help.
Our second power play of the game, and Trevor Daley and Tyler Sagan busting back after it. Enzel harassing Trevor Daley. He'll leave it for Spezza. On the wing to Sagan. Across the ice to Ben. Ben delays, sends it back to Spezza. Walks away from Erad, turns it over at the line. Ekman Larson to Malik, back again. Coyotes play keep away, and Ekman Larson all the way in on Kari Lettman.
You know, the Coyotes are almost hyper-aggressive up ice. They're right after the Stars, not allowing them easy exits out of their own zone to get set up.
Ben gets this into Daly. Swerving away into the corner. Sagan quickly across. Eakin to Ben. Scores! A little bit like Hemsky the other night, and it's 3-0 Dallas.
Well, this is why most teams and defenseman coaches want their defensemen to play off what's known as the strong side pipe. Stop it here. If you don't get a guy over to the strong side pipe, you end up with the defenseman. Yeah, he's worried about the back door, but his skate sideways, rattles right off the skate blade of young Murphy in front and past Dubnyk. No chance for the goaltender to adjust to that.
Ben's 11th from Eakin and Sagan. A 119 power play goal for Dallas. That's 5 power play goals in their last 5 games. Hansel lost the puck. Demers hustles it ahead to center ice. Shoots it into the corner. Fiddler, Moen, and Ritchie out there for Lindy Ruff. Sam Gagner forced to turn it back. Yandel artfully ahead, firing it in off Lettman. Demers to Jordy Ben, back of the net. Off the boards to Moen. Out to center ice, a little too far for Hemsky, who was on with the change. Goligoski collecting that clearing attempt, shooting it in. Call down the boards. Reeder can't get it past Klingberg. Flipped it ahead to Spezza. Trying to go back to Klingberg, and now has to turn to defend. He'll race with Reeder, who's fast. Down the wing, shot it, saved Lettman. Hemsky to the line. Zabinik McCulloch into the corner. Korpikoski reversing against Hemsky. Klingberg has the puck. And Goligoski off call. Skips in wide of Dubnyk's net. Coyotes' 3-game winning streak. Dubnyk had given up just 5 goals total. Claudette stalled in the corner. Bodger tried to come off the boards. Alexiak couldn't find it. Ben will, and angles it off the boards right in on Dubnyk. Sonoisen. Jamie Benn with a goal and an assist tonight, Ben. He races 3 games without a point. Jordy Ben back of the Dallas net. Good pass ahead to Eakin. Up to center, slipped it on to Garbutt. Got it over with the skates. Eakin shot it, saved Dubnyk. Was that neatly generated? Demers to Eakin, a shot. Dubnyk the stop again. Lawson Eakin in the corner. Demers there for the Stars. Took it away from Yandel. Eakin fetches his fallen stick. Demers took a tumble in the corner. Yandel reversing it. And out to center ice, Doan trying to catch up to it deep in the Dallas zone. Dodged the hit from Jordy Ben and sent the puck out of the Dallas end. Murphy away from Fiddler. Gormley passed it up. Pressure coming from Ritchie. Pump to the Dallas line. Klingberg on the wing to Fiddler. Got it over, shoves it in on net. Ritchie right there, and a little spray, and he gets a shot from Dubnyk.
Ritchie's been in the middle of things here tonight. He's been physical. He scored. He had another chance. He could have 2 in the game. Quite a debut. Holds the line, drives straight to the net looking for a rebound, and as he came in, it's not much of a snow shower, and that's not slashing, by the way. Stay out there. He's a little sandpaper in his game here tonight. Swing over to the other side. Ben had just scored for the Stars from behind the net. Just 2 goals in the last 8 games for Jamie, so it's nice to get that. He threw his stick into the stands. Said he was going to smash it over the boards. He was so frustrated at not scoring. Instead, he threw it into the stands. Then he asked for it back on Twitter after the game.
Right. He's like, well, maybe forget it. That stick isn't doing me much good. Ritchie helps it out to Goligoski for a shot. Ritchie tips it wide of the net. A big night for a Brett on New Year's Eve in Dallas. And icing against the Coyotes.
Took a stick in the mouth, it looked like, along the boards there as he checks his chicklets. It just feels like the Stars have outskated the Coyotes, and especially as these games have moved along. Even, you know, the one in Arizona, the last time here, third period, they scored 3 goals on the Coyotes in the third to open up a big can on them there. And here tonight, as the games moved along, they just look quicker.
Murphy. Another icing against the Coyotes.
And that's where the heat has been placed on Dave Tippett's squad, too, who can't believe his group on defense can't make a play coming out of their own zone as they get hemmed in here and allowing the Stars to start with face-off wins here. That's where the Stars have attacked them, though, with some speed in their group on defense. Yandel, Gormley, Murphy, Ekman-Larsson.
Betts and Hensel tie up. Gagne reaching for it. Drags it ahead to center. Skips it into Lettinen. Hemsky right into Erat. Spit the puck up the wall. Yandel went to the middle. Hemsky recovers, and there goes Ales Hemsky into the zone. Hemsky moving in to Cole. Puck was deflected on its way to Cole.
That was nicely played by the defenseman Stone. They always say on a 3-on-1, just spread out if you can, and that's what he did. Got it with the glove.
Trevor Daley. Arduous work in the Dallas zone. Erat has it back to the net. Oleksiak using his reach to keep 2 Coyotes away. And up the center comes Sevier. Chips it past Yandel. He'll go in by himself. Sevier, a shot missed. Jordybet firing. Walker to side. Off the side. There's Seguin in the corner. Tied up with Yandel. Spins off the hit. Gave it to Sevier. Couldn't pull the trigger. He was closed on. The speedy German Reeder. Jack tripped up into the corner. He's up. Sevier has the puck. Passes to Demers. He'll take the line. Tried to go to Seguin. That deflects out for Met. McCulloch. Doan behind Bottker. Goligoski will turn it ahead. Pass to Roussel. Chips it and goes after it. Into the corner with McCulloch. Roussel's pass to Eek and a shot. Score! He's been hammering away all night. 4-0 Dallas.
Want to see a big change in the Stars game from persistent defense. Look at them dig to get back in. Seguin and Garvin get all the way back. Make sure there's not an out-and-out situation going the other way. And then they hustle to get in on the puck. First on the puck. Primacy there with Roussel. And a weapons-grade slapper from Cody Eakin. This is further vulcanization of the puck. Kabang! Right through Dubnyk, who got guessing a little bit on this one. He's been beat twice high. Maybe thinking out of the corner of his mind it was going to be a top shelf shot again, and instead right through the arm.
A little glove for Cody Eakin. And the Stars lead at 4-0. Roussel with a very nice play. Good hard-working play to set that up.
Well, Eakin came close. Just their last shift came right down the slot, and Dubnyk, the better man on that one, this time just blasted it through him.
Goligoski leaves it for Klingberg. Klingberg escapes Moss, gave it to Moen. Ritchie wheeled and fired it in. Dubnyk back of his net. Fiddler there to challenge him. Gormley with the puck. Short pass ahead. Chip Chura navigating the center zone. Gave it to Crombeen. Moen holding up Chip Chura. Wrestles with Daley. And Hemsky to Spezza. For Moen. Hemsky came sliding to the line. Oleksiak puts it in. Shots 24-22 Arizona. Oleksiak fired that one. Save from Dubnyk. Tried to get it out. He did. Spezza lost the puck. Hansel to Gagne moving in. Swinging wide. Shot it. Pad stop Lettinen. And Oleksiak. Good pass ahead to Hemsky. Here comes Cole. Dropped it off to Spezza. Shot. That's blocked.
Well, you had big Oleksiak cruising to the front of the net.
Alex Goligoski getting an assist on that last one, too, as Reeder came in for a shot and a save there from Lettinen. It's already been out to Colton Sevier. Dead took it away. McCulloch goes back of his net. Reeder hemmed in. He's launching out to center ice. Demers to Jamie Benn. Rolling an assist for Jamie Benn. Seguin wrestling back to the net. Sevier pops into the corner with it. Tossed it in front off Seguin. Klingberg, Roussel couldn't shoot it. Location issues.
They're making better decisions, though, with the puck. I mean, they're playing with a 4-goal lead right now, but just better, simple decisions with the puck in the attacking zone, and it's allowing them to eat clock like this, something they weren't doing in the opening month of the season.
Harvard flung that on the backhand. Dubnyk forced to make a stop.
And the Coyotes can't move, though. They try to make plays standing still all the time.
Here's Klingberg. Shoved it to the boards. Garbutt cranked it. Dubnyk would like a break. How about if we go to break? There's Cody Eakin. 4-0 Stars with under 11 to play.
Stars young captain Jamie Benn was the team's scoring leader in 2013. In the final game of 2014, he's their best player. AT&T U-verse rewind. Done a little bit of everything. He's set others up. He's planted people on their fannies. He's tested Dubnyk. Beautiful feed on Sevier's goal back in the second period. And then here in the third on the power play, trying to swing it across to his buddy Seguin. Instead, it caroms in off the skate of Murphy, the defenseman for the Coyotes. So a goal and a helper, lots of banging. The only thing he hasn't done tonight is win a lot of faceoffs.
Garbutt spun that puck in on net. Dubnyk has it, and this line continues to do what this line does.
They've been really good. I mean, Ben's been really good in the game. Eakin's had an outstanding outing here again tonight through 2 periods tonight. In the game against the New York Rangers, he'd won 19 of 25 or 29 faceoffs, so he's dominant at this.
Trying to secure another here. Vermette came away with it. Eakin stole it back. Doan tried to swipe it again, and the Coyotes have the puck. Yandel from center shot it in. Lettinen made the stop.
I don't know why Kari Lettinen doesn't catch those, I'll be honest with you. He's done it twice now. You're going to get your defenseman buried by doing that. Just punch it into the corner. If there are guys on their back, I mean, they're going to get clobbered.
Here's Klingberg. Across the ice for Garbutt. Moved that puck ahead. It's intercepted, and Hansel popped off the puck by Travis Moan. Gagne with a shot wide of the net. Lettinen kicked back at it as it came hard off that kick plate. Daly, some pressure here from Martin Erat. They go to the line. Gormley's shot tipped over Kari Lettinen and out. Half a period to play in Dallas on Big D NYE. Kari Lettinen with a brief smile and a 4-0 lead. A little more festive here with each passing moment. Another New Year's Eve game to remember for the Stars. Cole cutting away from Stone, and then Stone plants him in the slot.
He's about the only guy I think I've been impressed with on their blue line here tonight. That might have been a tad high.
Maybe a little. Erat nudged it over the Dallas line. Oleksiak in tow. There's Stone, pumped it, tipped, save, and Gagne couldn't get the rebound off. Oleksiak had him held up. Daly breaks away to Hemsky at center. Hemsky tossing it to Spezza. Spezza couldn't shoot it. Yandel was there and then passed it. Blocked by Stone to the boards. Yandel backing into his own zone. Up past Seguin. Demers. Hustling after it for the Stars. Being pressured, ran into Korpikoski. Ben turning to center ice. Slipped it on to Sevier. In front, safe. Dubnyk. And Sevier unable to hold it in. Ben's backing him up. Demers swatted it out to center ice. Sevier. Now Ben. Tied up at the line. Sevier shoots it in for the change. Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Center ice shot it in off Moss. Ledman kicks it to the corner and Klingberg up the boards. There goes Fiddler and Ritchie. Fiddler with some speed against Gormley. Fiddler to the net. Save Dubnyk.
They can't handle the Stars' speed at all. And this is back-to-back games where the Stars have been a blur on blades.
Klingberg took it away at center, pass to Goligoski, now to Mullen. Pitch it up in front of a changing Arizona bench. Chipchura lost out to Ritchie, stole it at the line, and then Chipchura got it back. Gormley from center, wristing it in. Daly back of his net. Stuffed it. Vermette, Yandel shot it, blocked by Trevor Daly in front.
Well, that's what you do when you cop one up through the middle of the ice in your own zone. Bail yourself out.
Coyotes keep it in. Alexia took it away from Doan. Stone from the line. Stone to Doan. Chase to the boards. Eakin intercepting in front, flips it to center ice. Rolling on edge all the way in on Dubnyk. Under 7 minutes to play.
I think the wheel's still spinning, but I believe the hamster has been deceased.
There.
Right there. For the Yotes here tonight. They look done. The Stars have got it going on home ice here once again. Remember, they won just one time in their first 10 games at American Airlines Center. They're on their way to going 7-2-1 since. I think one underreported factor is that they really didn't have any of these home stands in the first 10 home games. It was a lot of one and done. They felt like road games coming home. I think the longest they had was a 3-game set. Since then, they've had a couple of 3-game homestands and a 5-game homestand, and that helps.
This is the second of 3. Currently, Cole got that away to Demers. Now to Hemsky. Hemsky to Spezza. Didn't make the catch. Wheeled it on goal. Demers in front. Here's Hemsky from the boards. Firing. Scores! Nothing Dallas.
This is just a rolling puck prayer that is blasted at the net. Hemsky, this is all he does against the Coyotes. Is score. A lot of it as an Edmonton Oiler. Demers down there deep once again. From the boards, short side high, and there have been multiple tallies in that same spot. Dubnyk has sprung a leak here tonight. He's been very good for the Coyotes. Nice screen set up by a leaping Eric Cole. But still at 6'6", guard the short side, and that doesn't go in.
Demers and Spezza should get the assists on Hemsky's 4th of the season, second in as many games for Alesh. Klingberg takes the line, and they're offside.
You know, and this is the good thing, I think, for Lindy Ruff and his staff to be able to continually sell the idea that from good defense will come offense. Don't worry, you're going to get your opportunities if you take care of the details in your own end, and they've done that here tonight and rung up 5 on the Coyotes.
Make a speed race out of this puck. Gaudette centered it. Rogoski tipped it. Murphy chasing, hands to Gormley at the line, passes to Reeder, shot it wide of the net. Ben charging over, keep Gaudette away. Korpikoski, rattled by Tyler Seguin. He's picked up 3 or 4 hits in the game tonight and actually has a very reasonable hit total this season. Velikovsky locks up with Moss. Alexiak in for the puck. And the big rig out to center ice. Senior tossing it in. He'll go to the bench. Fiddler back to the net. Chipchura buried him there, but Fiddler's right back up. Whipping it out to the line for Daly. Stopped it with the skate, shoots it deep. Travis Mullen. Brett Ritchie in the corner. Back to Fiddler. Tried to clam it. All over him.
They have just purely outskated, outworked, and out-goaltended the Arizona Coyotes here on New Year's Eve. Domination. Doesn't show it on the score clock, but that's what it's been in execution. Or the shot clock, pardon me. It does on the score clock. 5-love.
Yeah. Chipchura to center. Like a thread one through to Shane Doan. Dominic McCulloch passes off. Ekman Larson right to Eakin, who couldn't quite wait outside the line. 4:25 separating the Stars from winning 7 of their last 8 and getting closer to the top 8 in the Western Conference.
Well, the revelers here at American Airlines Center enjoying Group's tunes. They've heard the goal horn 6 times. It's only counted 5 times. And they've witnessed Kari Lettinen's perfection at his end, as he has a clean sheet going with 4.5 minutes to go in regulation. He was busy. You know, you look at the second period, and really the difference in the middle frame was goaltending. The shots were 14-13. The goals were 2-0 Dallas. And the Coyotes had some of their best opportunities in that middle frame. Tracked the puck well. He's looked the athletic netminder that he is. He's found stuff through traffic, handled rebounds. Cats and dogs living together. It's mass hysteria.
I think that's warm though outside.
Furries. It's a good night to be a furry.
Doan took it over, gave it to Vermette. Bodker. And Jordy Benn wouldn't let him out. Roussel flipped it in. Ryan Garbutt after the puck. Garbutt back for Roussel. Slip that through to Eakin again. There's Cody. Fine game by this trio. Really everybody tonight again.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, they're not relying on Tyler Seguin's goal scoring or one line right now.
Roussel cutting Doan off. Centered it up the slot for Yandel. Stone ripped it. Lettinen stabbed it into the corner for Eakin. Stars need a clear. Stone keeps it in across the ice for Vermette. And there's Roussel getting the change.
There's 3 really good plays by Antoine Roussel in his own zone. Came back on Doan, got a piece of that point shot on the other side, and then broke up that cross-ice pass.
Yandel from center slipped it through to Gagne. Shooting it, save Lettinen. Rebound, follow-up. Lettinen had the puck, but now it's loose back to the net. Erat steered it out. Yandel couldn't shoot it. There goes Hemsky, Cole, and Spezza. Hemsky down the wing. Hemsky moving in. Hemsky a shot and a save Dubnyk. Hansel countering to the Dallas line. Klingberg up with the puck. Chase evades the pursuit, got it to Hemsky again. Now to Spezza, to Hemsky at the line. Alish takes the hit. Dubnyk has the puck. Under 3 minutes to play. And the puck hit something at the Dallas bench or near it.
They hit the open door, it went inside the bench and then back out again. That was an iffy shift by that line in a game they're trying to preserve the goose egg. Not very good defending as they got watching on the way in. And Hansel was able to walk in and test Kari Lettinen with a second opportunity. And then after they went up the ice on the rush, all 3 forwards got trapped. They did hustle to get back, but asking their netminder to be the first star.
3:25 remaining in this one. Murphy puts it back in the net. Reeder to Korpikoski. Alexiak has him stymied. Seguin there with the puck. Here comes Tyler Seguin on the wing to Sevier. Sevier moving in, swinging wide, shot it off the side of the net. Ben, with his brother, locked it up at the line. Gormley to Murphy. Connor Murphy from center shoots it around the boards. Moss is over there. Ritchie trying to handle the pile, and Moss, he comes away with it. Ritchie does. And off Moen to center ice. It's been impressive. Brody Ben laid it up. Travis Moen waits for it to settle. Shoved it along to Fiddler. He'll stick it into the corner. Let Ritchie go after it. Then he'll keep it deep. Rocked away from him. Crombie now to center ice. Chipachura shot it over. Klingberg took it away to Fiddler at center. The end of the shift. Passing toward Goligoski, who tips it deep. Chipachura hands it over. That's to no one in particular at center. Goligoski hits Garb and cutting to his forehand. A shot, he scores!
It's an onslaught. Again, it's the pace and the rate of speed that the Stars can play. They hustle to get back and turn a puck over, and then they split the D again. Been a rough outing for the young blue line of the Coyotes here tonight. They get chasing back toward their own net. Looked like they were trying to change. Of course, when you try to change and you turn the puck over, you give up chances like this. This should go in, though. Dubnyk down, gets beat up high on a hard-working effort by Garbutt.
Garbutt's 7th goal of the season. The Stars have 6 goals tonight from 6 different players. Alex Goligoski's 2nd assist of the game. Every Dallas player is a plus player in the game. Very rare to see a score sheet like that. There's Spezza curling it up to the line. Evsky protecting the puck. Short feed to Cole at center. 30 seconds remaining in the game. Bodker trying to sneak in against Alexiak. Played it along the board. Sevier with a smart play to get it out. Long shot in on Lettinen. He'll kick it to Demers. 15 seconds left. Everybody up. Gormley with a long drive. Seguin around to Alexiak. Kari Lettinen and the Stars 6-0 over the Coyotes.
This was a shellacking, a public flogging, and the one position was way better for the Stars than it was for the Coyotes in this one, as Kari Lettinen gets the clean sheet. Dubnyk gets touched up. The Stars have a very happy new year, and they inch closer to that wild card with another 2 points here tonight on home ice. Now just 4 points back of San Jose. And Winnipeg a couple points ahead of them. You got Calgary in between. It's still a dogfight, but they've moved past the Minnesota Wild, who they will host in the finale of this homestand as the Stars salute their fans for the final time in 2014.
It's been quite a calendar year for the Dallas Stars. Made it into the playoffs. We've seen some fresh young faces too. And the Stars, who looked like they were out of it in December, have now clawed their way back into it, winning 7 of their last 8 to win in the end of the calendar year. Tonight's game produced by Jason Walsh, directed by Mark Vittorio, John Sponsor, Doug Foster, Cody Eastwood, and the whole gang chipped in tonight. For Razor, I'm Ralph. The postgame show is now.